Hey guys, how you doing? Good morning, aloha. This is Geebz here, your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge. Peeling back the layers and dissecting your favorite requested tracks. This actually comes from Patreon. The request is Opeth KARMA. I've done a couple of Opeth in the past and have always been very intrigued with their abilities to go into very completely different types of compositions in a track, from heavy to dark to, you know, acoustic. And you know, they were definitely not afraid to say, well, let's just write music to write music and make it work, not worrying necessarily about if it's radio play airtime, you know, under 3 minutes or something like that. So and also the vocal abilities, pretty crazy stuff. I want to thank you guys for hanging out as per usual. Yesterday A Perfect Circle went really well. That was really fun. Great comments. Thank you so much. As you guys know, none of this supports my channel. If you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee, the link is down below. You know, it also helps what I do with the kids, supports me with that. If you'd like to check out my headsets, the AKG 240s, the link for Karma by Opeth, Spotify will be down below, and also a link for my Patreon. You may want to check that out. If you don't want to buy me a cup of coffee, you want something for your money, maybe there's something there. You can go and hang out for a month and then dig out. You don't have to stay the whole time. That also helps me a lot too. All right, guys, let's do this. Karma by Opeth. All right. Didn't fail me. Already just went almost 2 minutes into the track. Two completely different arrangements in this song. I like to call passages, you know. These are, for me, sections that step in differently from any kind of established pattern, which the song is almost 8 minutes, so I don't know how many different quote-unquote patterns, you know, there would be, or passages. That opening riff that was happening, it sounded like it was in, there was a fourth, it was in fourths. It went third, fourth, fifths, which is they played, and for those of you who don't know anything about music, that main, whatever the riff was, the riff is also very unique, da 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 style writing, but to that came a harmony, which was 4 steps or 5 steps or 3 steps higher, which gave it a very unique, some kind of a odd dissonant kind of vibe, or not dissonant so much, I'm sorry, as kind of a soul pulling kind of vibe. How about that? Kind of gives you that soul pulling. And then of course, you know, they come in with the growling. I don't know what the lyrics are. You know, I should do a lyric review on one of Opeth tracks. So, and then they shift into this next phase, and you can see, you probably saw my body get a little lit up when it came into this next passage. It just opened up with this vocal, see, oh, whatever that was, sorry, it's early in the morning. and it caught me off guard, and I was excited because in that sense, because what I had said in the opening happened, and they actually brought us into another passage. And then now the vocals clean up the way it does, and it completely brings in a different energy, yet the guitar and the power still maintains itself, and keeps the consistency of where we're going on this. Okay, let me just continue on standby.
Nothing more to find. You have nothing more to lose. You have nothing more to find. You have nothing more to lose.
See, now that passage that with the acoustic is kind of a great example of what it is that I've experienced with Opeth, and what I've really always, as I'm learning more about them, going on this journey together, you and I, how they throw caution to the wind when it comes to obviously predictability. You cannot predict what is going to happen here. The fact that they dropped in this great acoustic kind of vibe there. I loved the picking pattern and everything. Here's something that I just, for myself, is such an important part of the recording process, is the human element of the recording process, that sometimes in these more high-tech, engineered performances of more modern rock and stuff like that, some of that is actually removed in the mix because you can digitally take out fret noise or slide noise sometimes, or noise of strings buzzing and stuff. And I just loved how that is just so in your face in this recording when they transitioned into this acoustic passage. Another thing is that the volume reset, we just got through, before the acoustic comes in, we have had this just complete wall of metal hitting us, right, at a certain level, like it's in our face here, and then it just drops out. But then the acoustics come in, the acoustic arrangement comes in, and it kind of replaces the volume of it, which I believe kind of maintains just a really super cool energy as it allows you to get into that. And then they get into a really nice pattern, really nice melodic work is going on with the guitar, and they build and they build and they build, and then as they get into this next section, excuse me, that, you know, bringing in the power and then doing that kind of hard stop and letting the acoustic guitar maybe just take, you know, a measure or a half of a measure of just itself. You know, guitar, clean, clean, explosion, clean, explosion kind of vibe. You probably saw me light up on that. You don't hear a lot of that, and this was done super, super well. Let me go back a little bit, finish the thing up. Wow, what a trip. You know what one of the things that I was thinking about while this was playing through here, you know, we're beyond talking about the musicianship capabilities of the artists, the bands, the instrumental musicians that I've had on this channel. To me, as a composer and arranger, you know, I listen for unique, even if the song is bottled up to be radio play, which you've heard me say that saying, in it to a minute to win it. Do you want to be in the hook within a minute? It's a psychological songwriting thing that whatever. I always look for very unique elements in composition that, you know, sometimes could easily discern the difference between, you know, a verse and a hook with a bridge and all that sort of fun stuff. What I love about what I'm hearing here is this evokes, you've heard me say this term, theater of the mind. Now, because this is almost an 8-minute track, there's probably only two and a half minutes, 3 minutes worth of vocals, if you would, in the recording. The rest of it is music and expression, you know, of the musicianship through arrangements. And it didn't feel like there was one passage that ever repeated itself and come back to. So to me, this is theater of the mind type of journey where it wants to take you on all these different dips, twists, and curves and stuff. And of course, bands that specialize in this kind of longer play kind of music, they push the abilities, sometimes of scales. They'll be in a scale per se, and they're playing the chords within that scale. Let's say even in a passage, but then they might step out of it just a little bit, just to give us a weird feel. Like, how do they do that, or is that really? What a trip. And for me, I'm listening to it as a composer, as a pure listener like you folks, if you're still here listening to me. I can only imagine the kind of journey this is taking you on up here, because the one thing is that's incredible and wonderful about music is that to each and every one of us, this song means a different thing, even if you know the lyrics, because we kind of write it to work in our story, in our heads. What does it fit to that we can associate the lyrics, the song, the energy to in something that's either currently happening in our lives or has happened in our life or something like that, So that's what I love about this type of writing. And to me, Opeth has been just absolutely outstanding in bringing us, or bringing me on that journey and stuff. And I love listening to what they're going to come up with. I mean, even how they just ended it. You know what I like about the end, that last guitar strum? You can actually hear a little bit of his arm against the guitar. Remember, I was talking about the human nuances of recording. I mean, there's a strum. It's a beautiful strum, but you kind of hear, like, I don't know, if his arm pulled away or something, you can hear a little bit of the skin against the guitar body or something, some kind of noise. And to me, that's great. It's morning, it's early, and the sun's in my face. All right, guys. Where's my... I should have had my glasses here. All right. You guys take care. Have a killer day. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. All right.